Kevin Sidebottom here, speaker, author, and trainer, and I go around and teach sales organizations and leadership teams on how to gain trust and influence with their customers and their team members to generate higher profits and more revenue. Today, let's talk about budgets. Now, budgets are a passion of mine. I know, sounds weird, but I'm a weird kind of guy. What can I say? Budgets have been with me for quite a long time. That's right. I have been using budgets for well over a decade, and I am so glad I started when I did. Because when it comes time for retirement, I'm going to be doing very well because I'm going to be in the process of doing budgets, especially with my wife. We work together, and communication has been a whole lot easier about finances because we've done a budget. So, how do you do a budget? Well, we need to first understand where we're at and where we want to go. Well, how much do we want to spend annually, right? What's that going to cost us annually to live the way we want to live? Maybe we want to travel more. Maybe we want to visit Italy. Maybe we want to do some things. We need to understand what that looks like with our budgets. We also need to make sure we have enough money. That's right. If we don't have enough money, we're not going to be successful here. So make sure we're planning up front doing budgets before we retire. But I'm going to assume you're already in retirement here, so this will be pretty easy. Now, we're going to take how much we need annually and divide it up by 12 months. That's right, 12 months to figure it out. And then we're going to do a monthly budget every month to see where our money's going. Now we have our end goal, what we want to do, where we want to be. Now we need to sit down and see where our money's currently going. Maybe we're spending too much money going out to eat or on clothing, whatever that looks like. We need to understand it. It's kind of like doing triage. We need to understand where our baseline is. So what does that look like? We want to list out everything we're spending money on. Now, if you don't have an idea what you're spending money on, go back to your monthly bank statements or go to your credit cards. The credit cards are a good way to see where your money's going. And they track everything from fuel, groceries, restaurants, clothing, travel. They have it down packed. They know what you're spending money on. That's why they have the bigger buildings than our houses. Okay? So we go there and figure it out, and we literally line out everything. Everything we're spending money on, list it. Okay? We're going to have our total dollar amount up here for the month or every 2 weeks, whatever we want to do for our pay periods that we're going to pay ourselves, because we need to pay ourselves. And then we're going to put dollar values to each one of those line items. And here's the thing. When you do it the first couple times, it's not going to work out. So I typically do, and what I started with was doing it on paper first, so that way you could go back and erase and make changes because it was a little painful. And we learn more through tribulations and pain than we do through successes. So we want to make sure that we're doing our best. Okay? So go through, do it in paper, line everything out. Now here's the other thing I recommend. And I highly recommend it because I took this class a long time ago. They didn't teach it in school. I actually went out and sought after it after my mom nagged me enough times about how well my sister and my brother-in-law were doing because they took this class. Well, I took this class called Financial Peace University. It's hosted by Ramsey Solutions. It's about 9 weeks long, and it's about $100 to $120, depending on what options you get, to actually go through with my significant other or myself at the time and go through this so that way I can understand how money works, how to deal with insurance, how to protect myself, how to budget, how to invest, all of these things so that way I could be successful. Doesn't matter where you start and where you want to go, you got to start somewhere. Now, I started doing this back in my 30s. I'm in my 40s now, and I'm super successful. And had I not started back then, wouldn't be as a success today. So we need to make sure that we're planning accordingly. By taking this class, which I get no money out of, and I've actually led about 5 of them, it helps people manage their money, and become successes. Now, Ramsey Solutions actually went and did a study of multimillionaires. 99% of them did not inherit their money and did so by using budgets. That's right. They did this process all the time and consistently to make their money. Now, I've told you before, the first couple times aren't going to be fun. The first time I did a budget with my wife, actually the first 2 or 3, which typically is how long it really takes you to start narrowing in your budget and figuring it out, I literally slid a glass of wine over to my wife, said, come on, it's time to do the budget. And there were some tears for the first times. Now, it's like a 7-minute conversation. We look at it really quick, see what tweaks we need to make, and move on. That's right. And if you're in retirement, you're pretty much taking a set income out of your retirements, which should be less than what you're making on your entire retirement investments, because if you're hitting it more, you're actually taking your nest egg and starting to lose money, and you might not have enough money at the end. So we need to make sure that we're doing so well. Now here's the other caveat. He actually talks about mutual funds and annuities and all this stuff to help you understand it better. Okay? And he brings it down so that I could actually understand it. So if I can understand it, you can too. So I highly recommend, if you're going to do these budgets, to sit down, go through this class. It will benefit you greatly. And your communication will go up, and you'll be on your way to being a millionaire and having a happy life. And then when you're in retirement, you want to make sure that you're using these budgets consistently, so that way you can plan for fun things. If you need to save up a little bit for these first few months so you can actually go have a nice vacation, great, go do it, so that way you're not impacting your wealth. All right? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm here for you. I have an Excel spreadsheet that I've created that you can have if you reach out. The other thing, like, subscribe, share it with somebody if you think this video is helpful. We'll see you next time.